check it out. Hey YouTube, it's time to check it out again. Today we're going to look at Nunchuck lesson number 12. Now, in the beginning, what I had done is that I had included all the techniques that I had done up to this point. And like I said in my last video, I think I'm at a point where we're not going to do that anymore because some of these techniques are going to be built upon those. If you have any questions about techniques that you see, or if techniques come up that should be mastered before you really understand these new ones, then I strongly suggest you go back to the playlist, kind of go through it and take the time to maybe take a look at it. I do give more detailed instruction on all the techniques up to this point. So now today what we're going to do is we're going to add a little flair to some of the basic techniques that I showed in the very beginning. And in the very beginning, if you have been with me from the start, you would know that I did this motion and it's worked into this motion. Okay. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to have it evolve even further than what it has so far, and we're going to introduce the basic wrist roll. And basically what that is going to do is the sticks are going to come around your hand, and you're going to catch it and then go in the opposite direction and bring it back, hence the name wrist roll. So from this position here, normally we would have done this, but now what you're going to do is you're going to bring it up, but instead you're going to let it come up and over the back of your hand like that, and then bring it back the other way like that. So how we're going to execute that at this point, we're going to do 3 different ways. The first way is just to start it from here, bring it up here, just like this, like you would have if you were doing an over-the-shoulder pass. Then you're going to let go of that back one, bring it back and back down like this, just down to the side, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now this leads into one of the things that I had talked about in the beginning as well, and that was the chain length. If your chain length is too short, if your chain length is only 3 or 4 links, or the rope is too short, it's going to make it really hard to do these wrist rolls. And so will a long chain. If the chain is longer than this in this instance, then it becomes too hard to spin them, and they start flopping all over the place. What you should do when you want to try to practice wrist rolls is make sure that this chain length is just long enough that it wraps over the back of your hand like this, and it just basically hangs right here. And that'll give you the distance that you need to be able to do a nice clean wrist roll. The weight of the nunchucks too also play a role in this. The lighter the nunchucks, the harder it is to do a wrist roll. And I find that the tapered ones actually have a better balance to do these than these right here. These are a little light and they are straight, so this is a little bit more difficult to do these wrist rolls. So once again, we're going to start from here, bring it up to here, let go of it, bring it down like that. Now I'm going to mirror some of the ways that I did this before in my first videos. So that's the first way to practice, just get the feel up and down, up and down. But now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up this way, and when we come back, we're going to catch it under the arm like this. So it's going to come up, catch, come up, catch. Now you could go down like this, come up here, and catch like that. One more way to practice this, just to get the idea of how this single wrist roll works. You can start from here, wrist roll up, down here, to the between the leg redirect. So now you have this one, and this one. Now we're going to add one more little technique in it so that we can switch this from hand to hand, basically. And it's a figure eight, but it's an inverted figure eight. So it's still going to be a downward figure eight, but now you're going to come over, and instead of flipping it over your hand, you're going to keep your arm inverted like this and do your figure eight. Then when it comes across the back of the hand there, you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and it's going to put you in that figure eight position. And you're going to come back around the other side now and do an under the shoulder pass. That's a technique that if you're not familiar with it, you're not very good at, check out the tutorial on it, practice it, because this will play into this. All right, so we have this up, down, up, catch, up, down, up, inverted figure eight, a miss, inverted figure eight, and we'll go back and do it again. All right, you can start from any position that requires an upward movement. So if you're already in a practice mode, and as soon as you come up here and you're doing an upward motion, you can go right into this figure eight right here, like that. So we have the basic, catch, redirect, the inverted. This may take a little bit of getting used to, and the reason why is because going around your arm or your wrist, it looks easy, but it gets a little confusing, and the sticks want to do their own thing. So you got to get that momentum going, and you got to get that catch right. Let the chain wrap around the back of your hand. Don't try to flip it and catch it, and then just let the momentum do what it's supposed to do. Now this motion, like a lot of the other motions that I showed in the beginning, should not be neglected, because they will play into another one of the wrist rolls that I'm going to do a video on here in the near future. So take your time with it, experiment, see what you can do with it. Follow the motions. If you feel this motion, you don't have to do this inverted figure eight. That's just extra technique that I threw in there. But you could come down and go into a regular figure eight if you wanted. You could come right down under. Anything that has a downward motion here, you can do. Have fun with it, experiment with it. Hopefully you're at a point, if you've been following my videos, that you'll be able to put this together with some of the other stuff, and it'll be fairly impressive, I think, the stuff that you'll be able to do and the way that it'll look. So have fun, be safe. We'll see you on the next one. Check it out.